Okay, we're going to review quickly how to estimate fraction products, because this is on your review on homework 76. Okay, remember that when you multiply a number, well, let me just give an example. So let's start with the number 2. When we multiply 2 by 1, we still get 2, correct? If we multiply 2 by anything greater than 1, for example 3, that gives us 6. 6 is greater than the number that we started with. When we multiply by 1, we end up with the same number that we started with when we multiplied. Now when we multiply 2 by a number that's less than 1, for example, let's multiply it by 1/2, 2 times 1/2 is 1, and 1 is less than what we started with. So this is the key to remember, that when we multiply by 1, we end up with the same number we started with. When we multiply by a number that is greater than 1, we end up with a product. This is our product here. We end up with a product that is greater than the factor that we started with. When we multiply by a number that is less than 1, we end up with a product that is less than the factor that we started with. Okay, now we're going to take a look at how this looks with fractions. Let me clear this one off. Okay, so for example, let's start with 2/3. If we take 2/3 and we multiply that by 1, we will end up with 2/3. Again, here's our factor that we start with. This is the product. When we multiply by 1, we end up with the same product as the factor that we started with. Now if we take 2/3 and we multiply that by a number greater than 1, and we can take any number greater than 1. It can be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, or we can have a fraction that's greater than 1. That would be an improper fraction. So let's say we have 7/5. 7/5 is an improper fraction because 7 is greater than 5. And 5/5 would be 1, and 7/5 is greater than 1. So this is a number greater than 1. And so our product will be greater than the number that we started with. And in this case, it's going to be 14/15, and 14/15 is greater than 2/3. And the reason I know that is because 7/5 is greater than 1, and whenever we multiply by a number greater than 1, the product is going to be greater than the number we started with. Okay, now the other one would be to choose a fraction that is less than 1. So that would be a proper fraction. Let's do, for example, 1/5. This is less than 1 because our numerator is less than the denominator. And if we multiply that, we get 2/15, and 2/15 is less than 2/3. The product is less than the factor that we started with. So that's just a quick review to help you with the spiral review at the bottom of homework 76.